Great season. We said from the beginning we had a really special group, just the way that we approached every single day. We worked really, really hard season. DJ said it in the locker room. I think all of us got better this season. So, it's a tough inning for us.
There's a big difference between being a great basketball player and just being loud. Napheesa Collier lets her game speak for itself, while some players, like Angel Reese, rely on theatrics, distractions, and even questionable tactics.
As, like you said, you guys are talking about it. Everyone is talking about it. And so that brings more eyeballs to the game. Again, I don't agree with what she did, but I like the fact that women's basketball and women's sports is such a conversation piece.
And now, Angel Reese has been called out by Napheesa Collier for being dishonest, adding fuel to an already heated situation. Collier, on the other hand, has proven herself there's a big difference between being a great basketball player and just being loud.
To pace on the rollout. How about Rose holding McBride just 5 points? Reese clapped her hands and reaches in with the pop. Oh, she just got jumped.
So I didn't see the reaction.
Napheesa Collier lets her game speak for itself, while some players, like Angel Reese, rely on theatrics, distractions, and even questionable tactics. And now, Angel Reese has been called out by Napheesa Collier for being dishonest, adding fuel to an already heated situation. Collier, on the other hand, has proven herself as a true leader and a dominant force in the game. She recently secured the league's first ever MVP award after an outstanding season, leading in scoring with 25.7 points per game and ranking among the top 5 in rebounds. But what truly sets her apart is her generosity and sportsmanship. She donated half of the $200,000 she won in the mid-season one-on-one battle to her team's trainers and staff.
I just have to say, I wouldn't be here without my team and my coaches. Yes, give it up for them.
That's the kind of player she is: skilled, selfless, and a true champion. As a true leader and a dominant force in the game. She recently secured the league's first ever MVP award after an outstanding season, leading in scoring with 25.7 points per game and ranking among the top 5 in rebounds. But what truly sets her apart is her generosity and sportsmanship.
Just being with this team was a high. Like I said, our chemistry was great from the beginning. The way that we approached every day so professionally, how locked in we were. It was just a pleasure to be with this team. We had a great coaching staff. So obviously, we want to take that into next year. But I'm just thinking about this for tonight for a little bit. Do you have another question?
She donated half of the $200,000 she won in the mid-season one-on-one battle to her team's trainers and staff. That's the kind of player she is: skilled, selfless, and a true champion. Napheesa Collier leads by example. She wins, she dominates, and she inspires those around her. Even when her team, the Lunar Owls, faced an unexpected defeat, she delivered an extraordinary 36-point performance, proving her resilience and skill. Collier doesn't need to make excuses or stir up unnecessary drama. She doesn't rely on attention-seeking antics, online feuds, or bold statements to maintain her fame.
An excellent job putting the pressure on one another, defending as well.
Instead, she lets her performance do the talking, playing with integrity, determination, and an undeniable hunger for success. Angel Reese, on the other hand, seems to be walking a completely different path. Rather than letting her talent shine, she often finds herself entangled in controversies and distractions. Her aggressive and reckless approach to the game frequently crosses the line from physical competition into questionable, unsportsmanlike tactics. Instead of outplaying opponents with skill, she focuses on intimidating them. And when things don't go her way, she resorts to complaints, playing the victim, or diverting attention elsewhere. During her season with Unrivaled, her headlines overshadowed her highlights. Now, with an injury keeping her out of the playoffs, she has once again shifted the narrative away from basketball and onto herself. After being ejected from a crucial game for unjustified behavior, she has turned the focus on her personal brand rather than her performance on the court. While Collier remains committed to the game and its values, Reese seems more invested in controversy than competition. Angel Reese spends more time on social media than she does improving her game, constantly posting provocative dance videos and promoting her podcast, where her statements often have little to do with basketball. And that's the core of Reese's problem. She craves superstardom but isn't putting in the necessary work to achieve it. While Napheesa Collier is leading her team to victories and shattering records, Reese is more focused on fueling the hype around her name. Instead of refining her skills and evolving as a player, she leans on theatrics, assuming that making noise off the court will compensate for her shortcomings on it. But at some point, she will have to make a choice. Does she want to be a true champion like Collier, or is she satisfied with just being a controversial figure in the sport? Because right now, all she's doing is chasing Collier, while Collier is busy cementing her legacy.
It's time from 2, off one leg. Reese with the board. She's got 20 and 20 tonight. But an offensive foul. And that would be 6th. And she's trying to convince her head coach to challenge.
There's a fine line between being a tough competitor and being reckless, undisciplined, or outright dirty. And Angel Reese constantly finds herself on the wrong side of it. She spends more time hitting the floor than hitting shots. Throwing elbows instead of making smart plays, and missing layups that should be easy finishes. Yet, somehow, the referees continue to let it slide.
Money wasn't an option. What could we get? And honestly, we got like almost everything because we really try to make the experience as good as possible for the athlete. We want to make it worth their while. We try. If there's anything you guys want, let us know. Any to heart, we try to accommodate for. I feel like there's
1 foot in the game, 2 out. Instead of working on her finishing, footwork, or basketball IQ, Reese doubles down on physicality, hoping for a foul call to bail her out. She pushes, grabs, and hacks at elite athletes, all while officials stand by and let it happen.
But then I also look at the play she drew up, and play was for Burrell to get downhill. It's interesting, you know, the communication of you want Howard to step up, but the play for Burrell probably because she wants to get her going.
But no amount of rough play can replace real talent, and eventually, she will have to face the reality that effort and skill, not drama, define true greatness. Let's talk about the missed layups, because for someone with Angel Reese's size and athleticism, it's baffling how much she struggles near the rim. Despite having the physical tools to dominate inside, she often rushes her shots, loses focus, or simply fails to finish strong. And when she misses, instead of hustling back on defense, she turns around and fouls the player who grabs the rebound.
Working on it, shoot around this morning. A power drill by Reese. Couldn't finish high off the glass. Shaves out space. Angel Reese on the putback.
To some, it may seem like she's being aggressive, but in reality, it's just a way to cover up her mistakes. A stark contrast to Napheesa Collier. Collier moves with grace, makes smart passes, and positions herself with precision, all without resorting to cheap fouls. While Reese is out there playing like a linebacker, throwing bodies around with reckless abandon, Collier is in complete control, dominating with skill, composure, and pinpoint accuracy. She doesn't need to hack opponents or take wild swings to make an impact. Her approach is clear: let the game do the talking. But what's even more frustrating is how the referees continue to let Reese get away with her antics. Any other player would be called for a foul in an instant, yet she's allowed to play carelessly, taking cheap shots without facing real consequences.
Scoring points, they love to watch her play.
Well, no doubt, and she's on the bench right now with 2 fouls after a very suspect first foul, where it didn't look like she really made contact with Alyssa Thomas. Now, one thing to keep in mind, because I know we are going to have some...
Is it because of her name? Is it because she thrives on controversy? Whatever the reason, the double standard is glaring. While true basketball greats are held to high standards, Reese is seemingly given a free pass to be reckless, and that's a problem. Perhaps it's due to the drama she portrays. For whatever reason, it is causing pain for every spectator of the game. The league must eventually take action to put an end to this madness. In basketball, skill is just as important as intimidating others to get attention. Real players like Collier will continue to win, while Reese will continue to foul, flop, and fail as long as the referees ignore the issue. Angel Reese's careless actions have finally caught up with her just when she believed she could get away with them. Due to a wrist ailment that required surgery last year, she is now out of the unmatched semifinals. And, to be honest, this was inevitable. Injuries are inevitable when you use brute force rather than skill, hack at players rather than improving, and play rough rather than clever.
The great pass from Caitlin Clark, head up, just the velocity, catch it, put it.
Drama, violence, and the need to project toughness were beginning to take precedence over genuine elite competitiveness in the league. Clark made the right decision. She concentrated on improving her skills and getting ready for a long, prosperous career rather than putting herself in a position where athletes risk their bodies for a fast paycheck. However, some players are unable to resist the allure of the rapid cash. Desperately, Reese jumped into Unrivaled, demonstrate her need for attention, and of course, quick money. Suddenly, Pardee is out, done and hurt. In a league that doesn't, she put her life in danger. She is now paying the price for prioritizing skill over spectacle. Napheesa Collier is doing well in the interim. She plays with precision, skill, and self-control. It's a long-lasting game, rather than one that puts a lot of physical pressure on you. She earned the MVP award, won the one-on-one competition, and scored a ton of points without resorting to the kind of careless play that led to her benching once more.
Suddenly a 6-point game down to 4. The pace is high.
I love that Jordan Canada is being aggressive, getting to the basket when she's able to turn that, putting so much pressure on the defense.
Gray finds Collier. The mini goes that time.
Reese had the last say, but Collier knew how to rule without taking unwarranted chances. I'm a complete wreck. She is currently on the sidelines, watching the semifinals. The Indiana Fever are in a strong position to contend for a championship when the WNBA season begins. The Fever have a healthy, well-prepared group that is ready to compete right away, unlike other clubs that are battling injuries, chemistry problems, or off-season unrest. Teams that will struggle throughout the season to establish a rhythm.
Stewart, 4 NCAA championships at UConn. 4 times she was MVP of the Final Four, the most outstanding player.
Off to Mitchell, gets a clean look, and knocks it down.
However, as the season draws near, it's becoming more and more obvious that this team is more than just T. Clark. They're a hungry, well-rounded team that has the ability to make it far in the playoffs. The Fever are acting while other teams are rushing to deal with roster changes or get important players back to full strength. Indiana's greatest advantage going into the season is assistance, while other teams are already having trouble. There are no serious injury concerns. But players are recuperating from off-season surgery, stars are battling fitness issues, and rosters are adjusting to missing parts. Take a look at the league. Breanna Stewart of the New York Liberty just had knee surgery.
Racing around. Clark using the screen. Boston hits her. Boston ties it with the jumper.
Injury, and that jumper looked like she's got her leg.
Another wrist injury has kept Angel Reese out of action. Chronic injuries are plaguing a number of other WNBA players, which might negatively impact their team's performance. The Fever is fully treated, ready, and safe for the first night in the interim.